Hello and welcome to your New York Giants news roundup for Friday, March 18. I'm your host, Ed Valentine of Big Blue View. And today we need to talk about the Giants' really surprising decision, at least surprising on the face of it, to cut ties on Thursday with veteran defensive back Logan Ryan. Ryan, of course, was a defensive captain for the Giants for the past 2 seasons. Played really well for the Giants over those 2 years, although the Giants did not fare very well. Good player, 9-year veteran, but the Giants have decided to move in a different direction. And stunningly, the Giants are not making Logan Ryan what is called a post-June 1 cut, which means that the Giants will be on the hook for almost all of the cap hit for Logan Ryan in 2022. The Giants will have $11.45 million in dead money with only a cap savings of $775,000 for the cut of Logan Ryan. So this move, obviously, for the New York Giants was not about money. It was not about cap savings. This move is simply the Giants' new regime. General Manager Joe Schoen, head coach Brian Daboll, defensive coordinator Don Wink Martindale. This is about them looking at the roster, looking at Logan Ryan's skill set, looking perhaps even at his locker room presence, since Ryan really was a Joe Judge, Patrick Graham guy brought to the Giants because of his knowledge, because of his connection with those two men from their days together with the New England Patriots. This is really about the Giants regime looking at Logan Ryan at 31 years of age, 9 years into the league, and saying, this is simply not a player we want to go forward with. He might be a good player, but we can't trade him. He has no market value. No one out there is going to give us anything for Ryan. So they simply moved on. And like I said, it's a little bit surprising, although there had been some whispers. Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News had been insisting, or had been at least intimating, that people were telling him that there were some inside the Giants organization who wanted to move on from Logan Ryan. And of course, now that the Giants have done exactly that, Leonard's reporting on that has been proven to be correct. So kudos to Pat Leonard for being out front on this one. So the circumstance for the Giants now, Jabril Peppers is a free agent. The only experienced safeties on the roster at this point in time are Xavier McKinney, a player who Wink Martindale praised in an early interview after he was hired by the Giants, and Julian Love, the do-it-all defensive back who has never really had a full-time home with the Giants, but has been used everywhere from free safety to slot corner to wide corner to box safety. Anything that a defensive back can do, Julian Love has done it for the Giants. And right now, he and McKinney are the only safeties that the Giants have. So to me, that screams, from the mountaintop, that with the 5th and 7th pick in the draft, if Notre Dame safety Kyle Hamilton is available, I can't guarantee you that the Giants would pick Hamilton, but there are people who believe Hamilton is the best overall prospect in this draft. You watch Hamilton's film, and when I looked at 3 or 4 games of Hamilton's, I write down strengths and weaknesses as I do that. There's a long, long list of things in the strengths column. The only thing in the weaknesses column is tested okay at the combine, but didn't test athletically as well as people might have expected him to. And I'm not going to ding him for that, because when you watch him on the field, when you watch his film, this kid has sideline to sideline range. He can cover from the slot. He can play single high safety. He can drop down and play linebacker. He can blitz. He's a solid tackler in space at all levels of the field. He can do everything that you want, a safety to do. The comparable prospect from a couple of years ago is probably Isaiah Simmons, who ended up going to the Arizona Cardinals. And I think right now, I think Kyle Hamilton is probably a better player than Isaiah Simmons. So I don't know if the Giants will draft him, but I think that has to be a serious consideration for the Giants, unless, of course, they are able to find a safety in free agency. I haven't actually looked at the list to see who's available, but we know the Giants don't have a whole lot of money to spend at this point after adding quarterback Tyrod Taylor, after adding offensive lineman Matt Gano, John Feliciano, and Mark Glowinski, after adding wide receiver Robert Foster, after bringing back a few of their own free agents. The Giants are skating really, really close to the salary cap at this point. So they can't go out and spend big money on much of anything at this point. But I just wanted to touch base on the Logan Ryan cut, Giants fans. A little bit of an interesting twist as your Giants look toward the 2022 NFL draft and toward building a roster for the 2022 season. All right, Giants fans, thank you as always for listening. Please remember to subscribe here on YouTube to our channel. Check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter at Big Blue View. Join our community at bigblueview.com. Follow us on Twitter at Big Blue View, if I didn't mention that already. Giants fans, thank you as always for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.